It's Evanescence, Bring Me to Life here on Dubai 92. This is the mid-morning mix. I'm joined in the studio by Jose Gonzalez and Yukimi Nagano, who are here in Dubai because they're going to be playing live actually at the Lodge tonight, somewhere around 10:30 p.m. I think it is.
Yeah.
And you just played a track from your current album, In Our Nature. You played the track Nest, and you're going to be gracing us with another song in a couple of minutes' time. But what I wanted to ask you is, you're a man of very many talents, okay? I know that, you, as we mentioned earlier, you've played in hardcore bands. You're in a band called Junip. You do your solo material. And you were studying to get your PhD in biochemistry.
Yeah.
And you're a musician. I mean, how do those two things go hand in hand?
Well, I always had music as my hobby or side project, and as a teenager I wanted that to be my main thing, but of course everyone has to work and earn their living, so biochemistry was what I wanted to do. So but yeah, as soon as I started releasing my music, it was sort of easy pick, because it blew up in Sweden, and I didn't have time to do the research, so I just
do you think it's ever something that you might go back to eventually later on in life? Like, oh, I want to get that PhD after all.
Oh, no.
No, really. It's done. You're done with it.
It's on the shelf, and I'm going to leave it there.
You've put away the books.
Yeah.
And with regards to any new material, I know that right now you're on tour for In Our Nature, but are you going to be working on any new material soon?
Yeah, like this autumn and the spring, I'll stay at home and write music with Junip, and also make my third album.
Any idea when you might be releasing that?
Oh, I know that it won't be early.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm a really slow writer.
Yeah,
so probably in 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
Or 3, I'm not sure.
Okay, but you might still be touring here and there in the meantime to...
Yeah, exactly. Like now, doing tours that are fun and going to new places wherever I'm invited.
With regards to Dubai, are you actually going to get a chance to stay here for a couple of days and see the city and do some stuff?
Yeah, like tomorrow we have the whole day off. I don't know if there's something people recommend, we'll do it.
Oh, there's a bunch of things. If you can, you should try to do a desert safari, because I figure that that's very different from life in Sweden. And you know, you get to go bash around in the dunes in a big Range Rover or a big 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And you know, there's ways to organize that for you. So they'll take you up and down really massive dunes, and you'd be surprised because you can drive out for an hour, and all of a sudden you're just surrounded by gorgeous, beautiful desert as far as the eye can see. And there's no skyscrapers, no cranes, nothing.
Cool.
And it's definitely an experience I would recommend.
Cool. We'll ask our promoter.
And something else, just in case you know you really want to fill up your day, is take one of these sea wing flights above the city, because then you'd be able to see things like the Palm Jumeirah and the world, and see a city that's booming and growing like Dubai from up above is just completely mind blowing.
Yeah, that's the best thing about touring. You get to see all this amazing stuff.
So nobody had actually given you sort of any recommendations before coming to Dubai? Did you have any expectations?
No, I mean, we've seen pictures of crazy buildings, islands, and so yeah, not more than that, actually.
All right. Well, I hope that you get the chance to squeeze at least 1 or 2 of those things in. So are you going to play for another track for us?
Yeah.
What's it going to be?
So it's Heartbeats, the cover of The Night.
One night to be confused, one night to speed up truth. We had a promise made, 4 hands and then a blade. Both under influence, we had divine sense to know what to say. Mind is a razor blade, to call for hands of both, to lean on wouldn't be good enough for me. One night of magic rush, the start a simple touch. One night to push and scream, and then really 10 days of perfect tunes. The colors written, we had a promise. we were in love. Took off her hands over to lean on. Wouldn't be good enough for me now. Took off her hands over to lean on. Wouldn't be good enough. And you knew the hand of the devil. And you kept us awake with most tears, sharing different heartbeats in one night. Took off her hands above to lean on. Wouldn't be good enough for me now. Took off her hands above to lean on. Wouldn't be good enough.
I have to say that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. I absolutely love your version of that song. In fact, that was probably how I actually came about you and your music. Somebody had sent me a copy of that song and said, "You're absolutely gonna love this," and they were right. And then I went out and bought Veneer and was like waiting with bated breath for your second album, and just bought all of your EPs, of which there are many.
Yeah.
And I was chilling out in a bar 2 years ago in New York, and somebody played the Knife version, and I ran up to the DJ and I went, who does this cover of the Jose Gonzalez track? And he went, "No, this is the original by a Swedish band called The Knife." And I was like, no, I think you're wrong. And he was like, "No, I'm right," and he gave me their album. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh. And to see what you did with a completely electronica song and stripping it down and putting your style on it and doing it so well, just no words, really. Now,
Thank you.
You're touring with, as we mentioned earlier, Yukimi, and Yukimi is part of a band called Little Dragon, which is a Swedish band. You released your self-titled album last September, kind of at the same time as you, Jose, released your second album, In Our Nature. Could you tell us a bit about your band?
Yeah, it's me singing, and then there's Eric who plays with Jose on the congas. He plays the drums, and then Frederick who plays bass, and Håkan who plays keyboards. So yeah.
And if you could define your sound, how would you do that?
Well, I guess it's kind of soul music with a lot of electronic sounds and synthesizers and a mix of little bits and pieces of everything, I guess.
And now you and Jose have been touring for a couple of years, you mentioned to me earlier off air. And are you going to be releasing new material with Little Dragon?
Yeah, next year, early spring. So we have our new album finished, so we're just
holding on to it?
Yeah, exactly.
Teasing us with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Well, I was excited that you were coming in when Zara told me that you were in Dubai with Jose and that you were going to be playing tonight at She at the Lodge. I was like, wow, we have one of her tracks in the system that we've been playing for a few months, and it's the track Constant Surprises. Is it cool if I play it just so we can get a feel about it?
Thank you.
All right. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it before I play it?
Well, yeah, it's actually one of the first songs that I ever wrote with the keyboard player, and it's funny that it ended up being on the album. So, so I was laying in the sofa singing with the microphone, and it ended up being, a single and everything, so it was fun.
And the name Little Dragon, where does that come from?
I guess it's a nickname that Eric used to call me.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Okay, well have a listen to this. It's Little Dragon on 92 with Constant Surprises.